Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Space Engineers No Jetpack Survival. I am PsyPrime and we are going to be continuing with our landing gear build because last time we spent the entire episode trying to raise the ship up by one block just so we can fit this whole new design in a bit more cleanly. So yeah, we got to follow through with that now and actually get some sort of a build done. I left myself the 1 week to, well, most of a week when you take away the time it took to edit everything together and yeah, all this. Most of a week to come up with some idea of how I want to actually do this. Now, I've not designed it down to the block. I've literally just sort of come up with a mechanic that might work. We're just going to wing it. The first thing is we're going to need to put, well, we're going to need to decide, do we place our landing gear in these spaces here like we left last time, or do we come out a little bit? I think these spaces here are perfect, and at the front we're going to have to place it, I think something like here maybe, which is going to take up some of this space where I've put this little cockpit. So some of that space there will be taken up by a landing gear. Now, I need to do a bit of measuring because this is going to involve pistons, it's going to involve merge blocks, various other little things to make sure that this thing actually works. So let's see. Obviously I don't want any of the piston itself sticking out. That would be silly. So all of the pistons got to be above, and I know that the piston can extend a full 10 meters, which is 4 blocks. So the piston can definitely extend further than this space here. I'm going to need room for the piston and the foot so that whatever like we use as a foot can fully sort of retract away and come back out. So this space here I think is going to be landing gear territory. That's what we're going to use this for, and then we'll have the main hangar forward of that. So I think this is probably where we're going to start, and then we'll design the rear landing gear to match. So we'll get at least one of these done and working before we finish this episode. Okay, most of this is going to be done up top. I know we've got a 3 block gap underneath. Is it 3? Yeah, we've got a 3 block gap underneath the front of the ship. It's a 4 block gap if you count the one we're standing on. So that's our 3 blocks there. 1, 2, 3. This needs to go. I think my inventory is full. There we go. So yeah, this space here taken up by landing gear mechanical stuff, which means I need a way to get round it. I don't want to sort of come out here, oh god, there's just landing gear stuff and there's no way to get to the front. You know, it's got to make some sense, and we've still got to get up to the top of here, although I don't think we're going to be doing it from here. Probably not. This passage, well, these can go. That looks silly. That also looks silly, but it's holding them on at the moment. Do you know what? Clean slate. If I need to get up there, I need to get up there. We'll find another way of doing it. Right. So passage can come out of here and divert off to one side and then come round to the hangar bay. I don't think we have to, so we need to leave at least this space for a little bit of a turn and an out. So this space here. Can't remove any of these blocks. They're kind of a bit important, unless we move them, but I don't want to. So let's weld up the blocks we know we're keeping. I just put all my steel plate back. Yeah. So we're definitely keeping those. Okay. And then I think let's give ourselves a bit more room to get around this thing, and then we can come out this way. So So that definitely is not to be built upon. We can use passageway blocks to sort of deal with that. We can use the big round ones. I promised more rounds, so yes, round ones. But here, and we'll need a little exit way here somewhere just so we can get out to the landing gear section for maintenance. Or we come down from there, something, I don't know. Right, so all of this is fair game around here. Now, I think it's probably cleaner. Let's see, this is the center line of the ship. We know that much because we built around this as the center line. So I'm going to take out that one, and that one for the minute. That could be room for piston to come through. I think we need to take out the next row because our landing gear can't be puny. I'm going to have to see how big all these things are. All the big mag plates. Let's have a look. I think it's something like that. Yeah, that is like a 4. Oh god, why is it an even number? It's not, it's a 6. Oh, it's a full 9. Okay. This is good. This fits in this space perfectly. Okay, that will do nicely. So it's a full 9, which means to stop it from locking on, well, I don't think it can lock onto itself, but I also don't want it sort of causing problems while it's moving, so we need to take out the 3 on either side again. Right. We got 3 there, we got 2 here. I think we need to even that out a bit. Let's make sure we're on the same materials. Oh. There we go. Right. Put these on. Oh, freeze. Don't crash. Yeah, okay. Right, so we've made this a little bit, well, 1 block wider each side. So I need to kind of close that up a little bit, but with something a bit less sticky. It's a shame they don't do like a 3/4 block like that. Oh, wait a minute. Do they? Do they indeed? Not with that kind of block, but these kinds of blocks I think are slightly smaller. Yes, these blocks are slightly smaller, so gotta get this right though. If I place that like that, it's slightly smaller both sides, so there's a gap which we'll need to fill in, but I think this will, yeah, this will work. So yeah, we can fill that in with like a half block and a full block underneath or something, and then again over the top put some sort of plating down when we don't need them. Right, okay, that's good for that. Now we're gonna have to come out one more because I don't want it grinding against this side either, so we are going to have to put more on. 1, there we go, there we go, there we go. And in the interest of just keeping things moving, there, at least one of them there. I don't know how far out we're going to go with that. We'll probably go a lot further because it's hangar bay, so we probably actually can do both of these. We'll sort that out in a bit. It's a different shape. That's also a different shape actually, but I can place that there. Right. Good. Okay, so this is generally part of the space, but this bit here needs to also be sort of narrow blocks. So we're going to turn that round that way this time. I can't place it there because it doesn't stick to anything. Oh, that's a bit icky, isn't it? they're designed to have space around them because then they can sort of operate as actual blast doors and move past things. Okay, so sticking them on here is not going to be super easy. I don't think we can just do that. Not there anyway. So that would be a bit problematic because obviously these don't stick. But I can do it once I've put the blocks on the bottom. So we'll leave these out for the moment and just try and remember that these... Oh, in fact, temporarily, I'm just going to put some half blocks in. Just as a temporary solution. We might leave them, but it's kind of just as a... these blocks are occupied. Right, so that should now be perfect spacing for one of these with room. You see, you notice it won't stick, which means that it can move past all of these quite neatly and have loads of room. So good. Right, so start. Oh, that's massive, isn't it? That takes up 2 whole blocks of the 3 blocks that we've got underneath, so you can kind of see already why I didn't want to sort of leave the whole ship exactly as it was. It needed to go 1 block higher just so that we got some room to get this thing moving. Okay, right, that's fine. Now we are going to need a piston above the landing gear, maybe a few pistons just to make sure we got plenty. We're also going to... No, do we need a few? Maybe. We're also going to have... Oof, that went a bit weird. Yeah, that's a bit strange. Odd. So we're going to need an armitage or something to bring that over the top. Let's see, space-wise, we need 1-2 blocks there for the gear to hide. And then we need at least space for this on top of that. So the piston needs to be raised up like here-ish, sort of there, that height. Yeah, okay. So actually it's going to have to be slightly bigger because the head bit on the piston comes down just a bit too far. So we're going to have to bring the piston up 1 whole block above. Pistons are 2 and a bit, so we need to bring it 3 blocks up. So the piston needs to be 3 blocks higher than the top of that wall. That means I do need to get up there, but I can do that with a temporary ramp. At some point we are going to have to do some temporary scaffolding around the ship just so we can get around a bit easier. Up and down and stuff, or at least, I don't know actually, I've been thinking about that because it was a good suggestion actually, and it's a way I would normally do things, but I think the scaffolding is going to need to be sort of purpose built for each particular section because the ship's still expanding out and we don't want the scaffolding to keep getting in the way as it does that. Also, I kind of want to be able to access every part of the ship from within the ship, so building it out from within and ensuring that we do have walkways and passageways and sort of maintainable, climbable areas all the way around. One, helps us build it, but also makes sure that afterwards we can get to everywhere. Right, anyway. So from the middle part here, this block here, we need to go up 3. We need to go up 4. Because 3 is where the piston should start. So armor block, and then we need to climb up it, place the next one. That can't be an armor block, that's got to be some sort of a conveyor junction. One of them. Yeah, there we are. Okay, it's got to be one of them because otherwise it gets in the way of this conveyor line. Right, that's permanent. So is this. Okay. Now we need to go up 2 more above that. So this will be number 1. Steel plates. Okay. Definitely going to need to put more of these access points around. Not necessarily in spaces where it's not needed though, so but this could be a place potentially, I don't know. Right, so that's the full 3 blocks that would go under the piston, well, next to the piston, shall I say. Let's weld that. This is also level with the floor above, so this is the floor above. The one above that, now that begs the question. Yeah, this is the floor for that level. Which is fine, because there'll be another deck on top of that. This bit's going to have to occupy some of the deck above. We'll have to work around that at some point. Right, for this moment, I'm just going to do that. Because we definitely need to go up one more. Right. There you go. Maybe. Ooh, do we make those conveyor access? No, because we can do that with this. Fine, that's not a problem. So, given that's the floor there, I actually do want to put another conveyor junction in. Where the hell did I put it? 3. There. I want to put another conveyor junction in there. I jump down there, I'm not going to be able to get back up. Come on. Cannot withdraw a bunch of crap that I need. This is getting frustrating. Why am I on that now? Meant to be on that. Never mind. Right. I need one more ramp. Playing with corners a bit here, but does the job. 3. Place you on there. See if there's any chance, any hope of me welding that. Yes. Good. It's getting a bit hard to see the blocks now because of all the scaffoldings. Right, why are we unable to pull steel tubes out? Are we even connected? We didn't connect to the base again, so extend. Trigger now. I need to put some buttons in here actually. We'll have to put a button panel on here at some point. Just so we can do that more naturally. There we go. Where am I going? Cannot withdraw. Why can we not withdraw? Okay, small steel tubes. I need 16 of them. Oh. Well, that's very odd. It's connected. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe the bottom bit didn't do its thing. Yeah, have we moved too far? Oh, it stopped miles off. Okay. Maybe I extended this one too far by mistake. Bottom extent 1.4. Not far. That should have gone much further. Oh, did I actually put a limiter on the piston by mistake? Big ship connector piston. Yeah, I put a limiter on it. That was silly. It's got to stop itself. There we go. It does work when you don't put artificial limits on it. Something I must have done during construction at the very early stage, just to stop it from trying to plough itself into the floor. Because I know what pistons can do. Despite last episode kind of appearing to the contrary. Yeah, but anyway, that's a good simulation of what sometimes, or at least used to happen when you connected via a connector and expected build plans to do its thing. Okay, so that's on there. So that's now a part of the floor. In fact, actually how we can put an actual block there just to get a feel for the floor there. Oh, did not want to do that. Or did I? Probably not. I need to come out this way now. You see how high we're getting now? We're higher than our base.
Meteor storm inbound.
Perfectly placed to see the meteors. They're coming from that direction. If they turn up. Hello? There they are. Please don't hit my ship. Is that it? That was it. Right. So this is the top deck. It could possibly... Actually, yeah. This would be the top deck. All of that needs to be sort of decked in as well. You see, you can't just panel over this because it limits where you can put things after that. But all these points here, not all of them will continue up through. Maybe they will. That could be a hub room or something with power and all sorts, you know, like reactor and stuff going into there. Plenty of places we can pipe in through. Obviously, I think one of these is probably going to be the piston. We're not going to pipe through the piston, it doesn't go anywhere, so one of these is out of the question. But yeah, this is where the next deck, what would probably be like the middle deck, is going to be. It's the middle deck. There'll be a deck above that a bit further back, but not at this point. At this point here is the top deck for the front, so this is going to be in the way a bit. Could I get away with a half for that? I feel like having a big ramp like that is just going to be a bit too much to be in the way here. We could probably do with just something like a light slope. One that's like never to be removed. Because if like somebody removes that, it's going to break the front landing gear. Well, it probably wouldn't because we could reinforce it, but you know, I just don't want that temptation. Okay, so that means... yeah, actually, let's do that. Let's get this a bit thicker here. And then here... Okay, whatever. Oh! That's frustrating. I'm going to just build up to here. So we don't have to keep taking the elevator. Lift thing, whatever. I don't have to do it this way, but it just looks better. Right, so that's our way back up. Cool. As well to you. And now what I was going to do here is something kind of similar to what I just did down there. I actually pointed with my fingers, that's stupid. But not quite that extreme. Yeah, something like that. Just so it looks stronger. This floor is going to come out around all this anyway, so yeah, we'll figure all the floor bit out shortly. Getting light. Sun's going to come up over there, which is why you get the morning red sky coming in. Bad weather coming in, maybe? No. It doesn't work like that in this game. Right, so... kind of need a better way to deal with all this now. From here's not good anymore. Right. So... I think I need to build out temporarily from here. Just to sort of cover over this area here, because that's part of where I'm going to be working, and the piston can't go below that, like, well, from its resting state, can't go below that line anyway, so I think that would be quite a safe place to stand while I'm working. Keep an eye on things. Right, so... The piston needs to come down. Let's see. Not that block, so that's first, second. So it needs to come down over this block here. So I need to bring that out. I could have done this with girders, but girders don't really help us when it comes to like making all of this work and look good with the floor, because this is going to be part of a floor. It's just going to be a very raised floor. Right, okay, so that's good there. I need to get up to weld that. Let's just get right up there. I should have kept this on, but I need to come up from here, so let's do... Oh, that's the wrong block. Do that. I'm good at corners, it's fine. Right. I'm gonna colour these blocks yellow. Maybe, maybe not. It's getting foggy. I think it's getting foggy. Right. Good vantage point from here. Now, thinking about it, like, if you were up here, sort of, if the cockpit was here, which is probably not far off where it's going to be, because this could be a nice little ladder up to the cockpit area. So, if the cockpit was up here and there's this raised area where the captain sits before, like, the pit with everything and the windows around, visor, this is the view you're going to get before you even take off with your ship, and when you land on it, it's going to be massive, this thing. Right. Let's come down. Might possibly need to get back up there again at some point, so we'll keep all this here. And... Right, so that comes out to the right spot, which is over there. So I'm not going to be stupid and stand on the wrong side. Take you off. I'm going to put a piston right there. Okay, now I need materials. So we're going to go down for those. I was going to think about putting a thing on there, but I'd need materials to do that anyway. So put back what I don't need. Get those and get just a few more steel plates. Okay. Now this is only the up and down sort of portion of the whole assemblage. It's not like the main part. It's the bit that makes it move. It's not the bit that keeps the ship stable though, because if I put like the mag plate straight onto that right away, then we're going to have trouble. This is why I left one extra space, because the mag plate takes up 2. So it takes up these 2. Having that extra one, partly for this, well, and that space there, so it's actually 1, 2, 3 and a bit, allows me to do one little trick, which is going to help make these mag plates like super strong, so this ship doesn't wobble when it's on these, because as we proved last time when we had this thing on, like on the piston stilts, it was shaky as hell inside, and like the character was just moving around by itself. Right, that's welded now. I'm quite happy with that. We'll reinforce all of this to make it look better. That's going to be interesting, coming out from there. Well, obviously that's not going to come out further forward to there. It's going to probably branch off. It's going to have to, because this is now in the way. So, yes. Here, how much space have I got for branching this out? 1, 2, I've got loads of room. So, I think here I need a beam block. It's finally time to put a beam block in. Good. They're not that strong, these beam blocks, actually. They don't have a lot of steel plate in them. I can work out around the sides of that shortly. Right, this piston needs a name. So this is going to be front, oh, big ship actually. Front LG piston. We're going to call them front, left and right. Left and right, sorry. Let's get the right way around. Good. Now, should really... Let's see if whatever I do here is going to get in the way of days, so... Here's good, right. Now what I need to do... let's do a bit of maths. Sort of, or at least a bit of counting. This wind is so annoying. Go away. Right, so if the landing gear it rests neatly so it's flush with the bottom of here, then the top of it sits flush with the bottom of here. So that buys us this whole block of space to do what we want. So one block under at the bottom of that, then it's the landing gear, and then when it pushes down, whatever we have on top of the landing gear in that block is going to show underneath here. But I think that's okay, because we're going to make it look pretty cool. I think. Okay, well that's gone. I can now hear myself think. Right, so what we're going to do on here, we're going to have to put a merge block. Do we put a merge block on straight away? No, we don't. We need to put... See, we've got 3 whole spaces here to play with. So, one normal block, which I have to weld up before we get to the point where we can't get to it very easily. I think we should have inertia tensor on these. Right. Okay, so one of those. And then on the side of that, I need... Where did I hide this merge block? There it is. So, merge blocks. Now, I have to just be careful about what side I'm going to put these on. This is good questions. Oh, actually... I need the merge block to be 1. I need this to be 1 higher, actually. Okay, that's fine. I've got some room to do this still. I can take these out of here. Right. So, at the back of here, is there room underneath? Ugh, that's in the way a little bit. There'll be room at the... will there be room at the front? I think we have to do it from the sides. Yeah, we're going to have to do this from the sides. Right, okay. Whew, lots of thinkingness. So, merge block to the side. Yeah, so the merge blocks need to just go straight onto the sides of these. That's right. I kind of, yeah, I planned the way it was going to work in my head, but not the how we're going to fit it onto the ship part. But here we are. This is how we're going to fit it onto the ship. See, I want these to lock into place. So I want to be able to sort of get it down, lock it into place, and be able to unlock it when I'm not needed, well, when it's no longer needed, and put it away. But then ideally we'd lock it back into place again once it's up top. Something along those lines anyway. Just stops us having wiggly wobbly pistons everywhere. I mean, we've got a couple already in here, and I've got a feeling that when we start flying, it's possible that the 2 pistons that we have already for the elevator and for the connector might bang a little bit every now and again. If they do, we may have to put some sort of a mag locking mechanism in place for those and hope it doesn't cause the whole ship to wig out and flip. We'll do that. Well, we'll test that in space first time, I think. Safer. Right, so that's that. And then immediately on the bottom of that, so that should go straight through that hole with no problem at all. Yeah, that's fine. Then right on the bottom of that, we have our rather massive foot. So that would go not that way up. Yes. I think it would go like that. And we can build that out around the top. A bit more. Yeah. We'll have to figure out how we build that out around the top once we get it down and working. Again, usual method of let's get things working first. Then we look at how to make it a bit more attractive. Wow, this has a lot of materials in it. Maybe it is stronger. I was thinking of the smaller ones. They're not as strong at all. Potentially the back feet and everything we could actually design slightly differently. In fact, we could even sort of double toe this on the front. We'll get it working first, but there's a potential I could double toe this on the front. Sort of one at the back, one at the front, sort of like a heel and toe. Maybe. Shame I can't articulate the whole thing, make it a little bit cooler. It would just get a bit clangy, potentially. It's like locking down with mag plates, something that's moved. It's, you know, not the cleverest idea, really. Okay, this is good. This is good so far, and I'll be able to retract that piston once it detaches from there, once it's all locked into place, and then re-extend the piston to reconnect it. That way we're not fighting a mag plate on the floor with these and that, all creating forces in opposite directions. So that should be fine. Yeah, because once these connect in and actually lock, that piston will be kind of like effectively like a grid with the piston locked at both ends, the same sort of U-shaped grid, trying to do something in the middle. And in this game, that causes forces that can flip the whole thing around all over the place. So not too much fun, really. Right, okay, that's good for there anyway. So now we need to look at piston distances a little bit. So let's get maximum distance. Oh, come on. And I've used up all my plates, of course I have. Just for access. Just put them there to make it easier on myself. There we go. Right. So now I need to get this kind of level flush with the bottom here. So what we're going to do is going to maximum distance down. Way down. Actually, how far do I need to push it? I don't know. I'm not sure how far to level out with the next block, actually. It'll be just under 2.5 meters. So I think it'll be around like 1.7. Going from our last experience anyway. So that should level it with the bottom of here. Well, with the floor. But then we need to go another 2.5 meters, which gets it to 4.3. We did all this math last time for raising the ship. So we're going to try 4.3 precisely. And hopefully that brings that level perfectly with the bottom of there. Maybe not. Oh, it brings the top of it level with the bottom of there. That's not quite right, is it? Okay. It is not right. Bit too far. So we'll reverse that and we'll try a different distance. We'll just try 2.5 and see what happens. I want it kind of flush with the bottom. Is that flush? It's pretty damn close. Maybe a little too far. It's possible it's just a little bit too far. Let's weld one of these blocks up so I've got a measuring stick. Let's do a couple of them. These take up so much material. They're heavy as well. There we go, right. So we've got a proper measuring stick now. So we're going to have to go down, have a look at that. It's tiny bit too far probably. Yeah, just a shade too far. But I think once we stick the panels on the bottom of there, that'll be alright. Right, okay, good. So we've got these blocks here sticking out just perfectly there. Now, on the bottom of here, hopefully it sticks actually to the bottom of these. 9. Yeah. We're going to need to do one of these in the opposite direction. I don't actually need to piston these in, I think. Because below this point is the 2 blocks this needs to actually exist. So we could just sort of blend that in with the hull a little bit nicer. Should work alright. Okay. I could have built them into there, I guess, but now we've got some problems with passing by. At least from a looks perspective. Rubbish there. What am I seeing on my HUD? Oh, we've got that stupid interior light there showing some reason on the HUD. I don't know why.
Meteor storm inbound.
Another meteor storm. Okay. That's lovely. Where are you coming from this time? Should be coming from that direction. Pretty high in the sky, really. Okay, no goodies for us. Yes, that's fine. Now, what I could have done, alternatively, is place these on the other side and brought these blocks a bit higher up, but then they're potentially going to conflict with this once the whole thing's retracted. We've got like one more block to go higher up, which would put these in here. And as it stands right now, it already looks like these kind of don't look right. Maybe I do put them inside there. And move these up one. Because this is the highest it needs to go. Yeah, I think we... yeah, I think we have to do that. Now that I'm seeing it, it makes more sense to put that. These have been really good. I wonder if they're dead. I've not had an attack from a facility for a little while now. Right, that's going to fall off as soon as I do take that off. Same with this one. I also know that once I try to grind that down, it's going to fill up my inventory and go everywhere, so... not going to get the next one in one go. Right. 4, 5, there we are. Okay, so we put this in that way around there. At least that way, the fact that it's kind of looks a bit funny and it's sort of poking through is hidden most of the time. So, am I even the right way up there? Yep. Okay. Get the materials underneath them. Ah, close enough.
Energy low.
Yes, okay. Energy's right there. That's easy enough. That side. Yep. Okay. Then I need my blast door blocks again. One. Not that way. That way. Nearly. And then a few more of these just for good measure. Right. So they're actually better stuck now because this middle block actually helps hold the outer blast door blocks on, so they're less fragile now. Which is great. It doesn't help these ones, but they're not blast door blocks yet. They will be when I figured out how to stick them on properly. Right, so these two are going to have to go even higher now. Uh-oh. Marvellous. Nice of it to all stick around though. And I need a few bits like that. Right. So we're going to have to place a block here. Don't think it needs to... Right, this is where we can actually build this out a little bit better because it just looks wrong like this. I think it's something like that would go perfectly there. I can figure out how to sort of make this pattern go all the way around properly. And this gives it a better foot at the bottom now, so... this side I might have to leave because I don't know if I'm going to do the double... No, actually. We'll put that on for now. We can always take it off. Right, and then on top of that, so I'm going to have to get up and do this from a higher place. Yeah, there we're going to need our merge blocks facing that way and that way. So they would kind of feel like they're going to get in the way if this retracted further, but it doesn't need to retract any further than this. In fact, actually, now that we've got our maximum distance set, I think maybe 2.4 would be better actually. So we can set the minimum distance to the same now. Or, right. Maximum distance will change after, so that's fine. So it won't retract any further in than this right now. Or do we need it to? No, we don't. We never need it to go any further than this. This is the point where it needs to get to. Just have to just jump. Yeah, this is looking a little bit more compact actually, which works better for me. I'm happy with that. Yeah, all in one place, and only the bottom part's going to be particularly visible. Right. I need to figure out what to do with these middle bits. There's got to be a block that fits in that corner. None of them. I mean, that obviously, nope. Oh, we're back to this old chestnut again. Try block 8. Ooh, that's it, I think. Yes. Haha, lucky me. Okay, and 4, right. Steel plates needed. Again, we can tweak the looks and the styling and everything at a later point. We just have to make sure this whole thing works. Works well. and that I'm happy with it generally. So right, good. That's fine. Now the main thing here is that these need to be controllable, so I need to name these. So this is big ship front LG left lock. Actually, lock left. I'm gonna we'll remember that. Right. Big ship front LG lock. Right. So left lock, right lock there. We're going to turn these off. Off. Did I see or hear something? It's weird. Okay, it just makes noises when you turn them off. Right, okay. That's fine. So they're off now. Another storm. Visor again. This is silly. Right. So now what we need to do is we need to figure out at what point is that piston going to be at the right point to lock into that, and is it going to be the right point to lock the ground? It's a big question, isn't it? But these gear have to go down a finite amount, so we can't have these being too flexible. The whole point of the other two things being flexible is to handle whatever happens when these things are not. Because if these are flexible, it just gets messy. We'd have to have these staged in multiple layers, and then you'd only be flexible within the space of one whole block, which isn't going to be any good for locking this thing off. So we could do a front lock and a back lock potentially, but I think 2 for now to test at least. Yeah, right. So it won't actually lock because we've turned these off. But what I can do is start lowering this piston. By increasing the maximum distance. Just with my mouse wheel, one little notch at a time. This also lets me see if there's any points where it snags or any bits where it's an issue. So as you can see there, I'm still just playing with the maximum distance. We're at 5.9, got loads of room left. This goes up to 10 meters. Okay, and it's a bit stuck. We're at 7 point... what's our position right now? We're at 7.42 meters. Okay, and that actually got stuck. So we'll come out of here. Oh, I just undid that, so that needs to be 7.42, otherwise it's going to snap back the moment it gets a chance. I'll do. Let's put one there, that's it. Okay. So it snagged on that, which is kind of surprising actually. These blocks are supposed to be able to slip past each other. And it is the right way. I wonder if it's these blocks. Shouldn't be. Yeah, that's annoying, that. We might have to bring these up one more again. But if that's not going to slip past that, let's just take off these corners. It might be these corners actually. I think it's the corners. I was right to leave more space around these, but they might have to go even more potentially. Right. Okay. Frustrations. Right. Maximum distance. Can we go any further? Okay, it's not the corners. We're at 7.5. It did move a little bit, but it's not the corners. I wonder if we turn these on, does it allow it to slip past? It hasn't moved, but we might be set to exactly the same. Ah, wait a minute. What about these corners as well? It could potentially be a problem. Let's have a look, see if it allows it to go past now that I've turned them on. No. Okay. It shouldn't be these. It should not be these. I've seen these go past each other just fine. Potentially these, but I can't take them off without... Gonna have to connect these up, but that's gonna get in the way as well. I think I could do it like that. And then just put a full block on here just for a minute. That means I can now take off that. If it is these, I have to go to the other plan that I had. Slight modification on what we're at the moment, but we'll see. Okay, we're at 7.6 and not going anywhere. Right, let's retract this. Okay, we're stuck now. So much for hitboxes and stuff being fixed and all that palaver. Okay, so this is going to have to be very modified.
Inventory full. Inventory
Nice of it to bring all those things back up. Okay. Maybe having one on each side was a bad idea, potentially. But I'm going to have to make a slight modification to the way this lot works. So we need to lose these blocks. We need to lose that, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. Going to be a lot of that going on. We're going to lose this, 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 and the same about the other side. Right, so that is a bit annoying. That was quite annoying, actually. But, oh, and that thing's kind of just there now, isn't it? Alright, done with up here. Plan B was to have the locking mechanism on another set of pistons, or something that I can move in and out, at least. But then the piston would have to sort of remove itself. Problem is then that means we're moving pistons past like really tight spaces again. I'm not really keen on that. So is there another way I can do this? We could do an L-shaped merge block. Then we're always gonna have the problem of having to slide a merge blocks past another merge block. This is where this issue comes in. We're always gonna have that problem of one going past another. No, there's another way I can do this. So we need to lower this down to the point where it's touching the ground just right. So I need to get down and sort of look at this from down there. So let's put that back. So we need to get that lowered down to the point where it's touching this. Now I'm going to have to use remote control for this. I'm going to have to get these out of the way. We're going to use remote control to get this right. So Shift K, and I don't know why I stood up just then. It's a bit strange. Let's see, which ones can I... Oh, I've turned my antenna off, that's why. So row. Shift K. Per turn base. It's all part of per turn base right now. Big ship. Front LG piston. There we are. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reverse it. Let it come down to its resting point. Well, it's already at its resting point there, but 7.6. Right. Just the point where it locks. Well, it won't lock to the ground, but we should see a slight color change somewhere. There we go. 9.5. Well, it's at 9.4, so we'll go to 9.4 precisely there. Let's make sure it is precisely, because that's not 9.4. There we go. Right. So that's set the maximum for the piston. Is that locked? It has locked. It's slightly off the floor, but it has locked. And it's out of alignment with all of this. Auto lock off. I need to get that to a nearest whole number here, so once we've got it right, I mean, it'll be fine, because like once we've actually taken off and we've deployed a gear to land, it's not going to have the problem of the ground being in the way. So I'm just sort of fudging it by getting this to touch the ground itself for now. It won't do that in reality once we actually get to do it. So, oh gee, that's it. Right, let's see if I can go just a little bit further. Let's go a bit further. Let's go to the full 10. Just give it all the room it can get. Okay. That had quite a long way to go. Crap. Gotta run. Gotta run, 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 run. Oh, no, 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 no.
Energy low.
Okay. I'm not sure where they're shooting me from. Dead robot there.
Inventory full.
Well, that's a pain in the neck. It's typical, the whole thing decides, oh, you know what, I'm going to fly away, and these shoot it down to the point where it can't fly away properly, so it flies into the bottom of my ship. Now I've got this massive pile of rubble, and I've got bullet holes in my landing gear, which are now fading away.
Inventory full.
And a great big hole in the ground. Not what I wanted today. These steel plates. I need to put these away. Take a bunch of them. Right.
Energy critical.
Yes, energy's critical. Have I still got a ladder? Yes, I can. Took a couple of shots. I think they just winged me though. Didn't take barely any energy off, so I guess it probably, I don't know, ricochets or something. That can actually happen. There are ricochets. What a mess. Just need to make sure there's not much left.
Inventory full.
These definitely need to go because they're making a fire.
Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Lots of freebies at least. Oh, there's another big hole there.
Inventory full.
Alright, any more? Ladder's a bit annoying, right. Whoa! Saw the gyro. Let's just get all this stuff out of the way. There we go. Those are the wrong blocks. The middle ones are supposed to be big like that. This row is also supposed to be big like that. More steel plates needed. If I didn't get enough. Do you know what? I had the slightest inkling that something was coming just before it happened. And yeah, then it happened. More steel plates. Let's make this a little bit tougher. Fix the hole over here. Whatever, let's weld up some. I'm not going to weld everything up, I'm just going to like gradually weld up bits as I go. Okay. Right, so now we've got a load of damage up here. Nothing too critical by the looks of it. I can fix those from upstairs. Yeah, this is a mess. Can't reach. Okay, let's get back to what we were doing anyway. Well, actually, we should fix some of this damage first. It's really, really annoying that it's there in the first place, but it's got to be sorted out. So it all came from this side. Yeah. Just crash damage. Okay, let's see. These were just whole normal blocks, so yeah. Okay, so that's that side pretty much sorted. We'll deal with the rest as we see it. Okay, so what were we figuring out here before everything got slightly haggard anyway? Oh yeah, I was about to test if that was the right. Yeah, that's good enough alignment actually. We could definitely do a connection with that, so that would be absolutely fine. Right. So what I want to do here is I need to build this back out actually because well, that's wrong actually. Don't want one of them. We want one of these. Yeah, okay. Yeah, taking these off was a bit of a... That's not a straight block, is it? No, it's a 2x1 slope, right, so I can't go out to that far. That's the 2x1 yeah, okay. Right, so that's kind of where that's going to be, and then this block's the 4 blocks, so I could go for another one on the end of there, as originally planned. That means that also should be... yeah, one of them. Both sides. Okay, and then one more. This one, I can go there. Yeah. See, 1, 2, 3. This has to be half blocks across here. Yeah. Okay. Right, so this... nope. Right. Yeah, that's... Okay, so that is the area we need to deal with this. So my thoughts are, when it's down like that, we need to be able to get it into a position where it just locks in. So... I could do it either over this side, where kind of where I am there, like that. But that's going to get a bit messy, so we'll deal with that another time. This side we've got plenty of room to do this on for locking it before we put the hanger in. So, for the minute, do we do it? This part is not particularly that visible, so I can actually go quite reasonable up here. The next one kind of needs to go towards a half block though, because I really don't want to be getting when it is retracted a little bit. I don't want it getting too close to that and getting stuck again. So this needs to do that. Yeah. I need a ramp so I can get up, to be honest. Another storm. bloody never ends. Right. So at this point here, I need to bring this over this way a bit and line it all up. So 6 back to my normal halves. This isn't making any sense yet. It will. Full block. Get rid of these two. Weld what I've got. Okay. Might not look pretty here, but you can't see it from outside when it's done. So this block here. Yes. Yeah, we could just stick it on top of here, I think. Right, we're going to turn you off. I don't want it locking too soon. In fact, I need to raise this up slightly. Oh, of course, it's because it's... No, hang on. Need to unlock... yeah, we're going to reverse. We're going to... unlock that. Did it lock again already? Okay. Right, now I know that's in the right place. I can do the whole LG. Let's just have a look at this bloody landing gear thing first, because magnetic. So it's a big ass magnetic plate. That one. So this needs a rename. So big ship front LG mag. Right. Okay. So we've named it. Oh, I was gonna... Yeah, I jumped out a bit too soon. Big, right. Mag, that's the one. So auto locks off. But it still seems to want to keep locking itself. So we're just gonna have to do the whole playing with the unlock lock thing. But for now, I think we can. Yeah, we can reverse that. Don't know why it just came out. Mag. No, it's the piston. Piston, reverse. So that's going to bring this down into range so I can weld it, but that's turned off. But essentially that would lock this in. Well, it would if that wasn't doing what it's doing there, but it's fine. Storm better go away.
Energy low.
Energy's low again. Okay, now we also have another area here that's no longer airlocked. because of this whole system. This is part of the problem with having like massive custom gear. A certain lack of air locking, which is a little bit annoying. This whole thing could have been brought down a little bit more. No, actually it can't, because this whole thing, it does retract quite far actually. Yeah, doesn't go quite 5 and a bit meters, so the minimum distance on this piston is just below 4, just above 4 maybe. Right, so once that's, well, if we can get that, yeah, so the idea would be this extends down. This is before we land, so we'd extend all this while we're coming down to land. So this extends down, gets down to its full length. That comes into contact with this, then this will lock. Once that's locked, we'll unlock this from, we'll detach that and then bring that back. So the gear is then essentially attached to this arm here, which probably needs a bit of reinforcement, but it'll be attached to this arm here. We could probably do a second one, maybe, possibly put one on the other side, maybe on each of the sides here. I'm not sure, just so that this whole thing doesn't snap off anyway. But maybe once it's landed, maybe once we're landed, that's mag locked in, that will disconnect and come up. And then when we want to leave, we'll bring that down, connect it to that, disconnect this, and then retract the gears once we're off the ground, once we're unlocked down there. So we're going to need some event controller stuff to actually make this happen. But you can see there the design for this thing. So all this slot here will have to be sort of plated over just to fill it in. This area here, God knows how I could actually airlock this bit. I think we're just going to have to work around it and keep this area sort of open but not a part of the main visitable part of the ship, and we'll just have a special airlock access from some side, maybe from around here somewhere into this area. Yeah, with like flashy lights and shit to stop you from going in unnecessarily. Right, let's go down and have a quick peek how the gear looks from outside. Yeah, that's a lot more substantial than before. We're gonna have to do a bit of styling to make it look right. And again, yeah, if I want to, I could put... No, if I put a second toe on it, it's going to get in the way of that, so I would have to do these on the sides. I'm not sure that's necessary, because the shearing force, if we landed funny with it extended, could potentially snap it all off. So I kind of want it on the front as well. Probably have it on both sides, on all 3 sides. I don't know, we'll get there. But yeah, that's going to be a more significant retractable landing gear. One that doesn't become a problem once we're landed. And we could do the same as this sort of structure. I wonder if there's ways we could potentially optimize this and sort of make it a little bit more sleek and small. It is a real shame that these merge blocks can't slide past each other reliably. It's very annoying. And, you know, trying to do like pistons to lock it in like that would have been really cool, but in doing so we're not going to create that stable solid grid anymore, because we're just adding 2 more subgrids, and in order to actually have it locked to the ship as a solid grid would mean having 2 mag plates on each, well, not mag plates, 2 of these merge blocks on each side, and that means again having one slide past another. It's just not going to happen. So yeah, we can't currently do that. I think, yeah, I think I'm happy with the way that actually looks as it is. Have a couple more in here on the other sides. I mean, where it's higher at the back here, let's open our visor. Where it's higher at the back here, we've got more room to be a little more elaborate with the way the legs look, potentially. But at the same time, again, right here, we're actually maxing out the piston length here. So, yeah, we might not be able to play too much with it. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to leave this one this time. We've got our basic landing gear design in place. Might just need a little bit more tweaking stylistically. Oh, well, hang on, we've got to weld this damage up. I can't just leave it like this. At least weld a few of these up. Yeah, about as far as I can go there. I'll leave those there for now because we're going to have to weld all this up eventually anyway. So, right, I'm going to leave that here for the time being, and we'll call that a day for now. So yeah, we got the landing gear design in. We didn't get the landing gear fully done for all of them, but the other two are basically a case of rinse and repeat. So that'll be next time. We'll finish off that landing gear stylistically and get 2 more on there if we can get that done in that time, and hopefully we don't get attacked again. It's getting frustrating, but yeah, have a fantastic weekend and whatever else you're going to do until next time, and we will see you for the next No Jetpack Survival. Bye for now.